walking to the post office to ship off the hard drive of all the footage from the Mastermind event. It'll be out of my hands. I'm done with the project. I was supposed to work 3 weeks on the UFC affiliated project. That got turned into 2 days. And then also the golf shoot in Montana, they excluded the need for me. They're gonna hire local. So up and down as always. However, this morning I got 2 inquiries for corporate work in Orlando. Orlando is one of the biggest cities for trade shows, so that is a benefit of being here. But it is really proving to be a smart investment to promote and pay for my services to be marketed on Production Hub. I have a 12-day time-lapse project coming up, and I'll be using the experience that I had on that aviation time-lapse project I did. I made a vlog about it, and we were using GoPros, DSLRs. On this one, it will be GoPro focused, but we are introducing motion control. I've never used this system, so I need to figure out how it works. So I'm going to rent this this week, use it, send it back, figure out all the kinks, and then when the shoot day comes in 3 weeks, I'll be ready to go. This is crazy. So I'm shooting for my retainer client who prefers mobile phones, the one that I'm filming on right now. So the C70 is actually going to stay in here. The entire shoot is an iPhone 13 Pro and a full lighting kit. The X factor with these shoots is we are in the talent's home. So this is their actual living room, their actual bedroom. And I let them know beforehand, it doesn't need to be picture perfect, just somewhat organized and not distracting. And I'm going to emphasize that with a little bit of light, make it not look too polished. And then the audio is just coming straight from the mic. So it's different than using a normal camera. If you had asked me a month ago, what camera do you want? I would have said 100% an FX6. So it's ironic that now I'm considering getting a second C70. And it's mainly because of one reason, the audio configuration. The FX6 has 2 XLR ports, and the third port is their MI shoe. So it's not a 3.5 mil, it's a proprietary connection that only accepts Sony branded mics, which I don't like. I want to use Sennheiser, I want to use Rode, I want to be able to use whatever the production has. So the big thing with the C70 is you get 2 XLR ports and a 3.5 mil. Now that 3.5 mil has 2 channels in it. So you can map 2 lavaliers to go into there and use these gain dials. These gain dials aren't just for these XLR. And that allows me to ride the audio on a 2-person interview and then put in an XLR overhead with a shotgun mic to have redundant audio, still leaving a 4th channel of audio, a 4th mic. So this has way more options, way more configurations possible than an FX6. And if you were to get an FX6, I need 2 cameras. So inventory-wise, that's pretty hard to do with an FX6. Money-wise, that's pretty hard to do with an FX6. So I think for now, getting a second C70 won't happen immediately, but it will be the next step. And having 2 exact mirror menu systems, button layouts, codecs, color, not only makes my job easier on site, or if there's an assistant on site, everything between the 2 cameras isn't the same, but also when I deliver this footage to the post-production house, they will have the exact same codec, the exact same color. There's no difference between this camera has internal NDs, but this one has a different brand on a screw-on filter. No, exactly the same. So as much as I would love to have a bunch of Sonys, I actually think this is the best option for now. 2 of these, 1 rigged up and 1 bare body that can slide directly onto a tripod or onto a gimbal. Also, last Saturday, my documentary showed at the Melbourne Independent Film Festival, and it won for Best Short Doc. So super excited to have that experience. It was very fun. I also got to screen a couple months ago at the Sunscreen Film Festival. But next week, next Sunday, October 30th at 8 p.m., it'll be showing in downtown Orlando. in a full-size theater Halloween weekend. So all the details are in my bio. If anybody is in Orlando and able to make it, please let me know. I would love to have as many people there as possible, and we'll be screening my short documentary. Link in description. So back to the shoot. Here we are outside, showing the product being used inside, being used outside, and emphasizing the portability. That's a big thing with this client. We have a skirt on the key light, controlling some spill on the far wall, and then we're mirroring the iPad to the TV. There is some latency issues, so when I do the screen recording of the iPad, I might have to do that later because you can't mirror and screen record. So last shot of the day. Looks amazing on an iPhone. The idea for this was, in the first scene, he says there's no waves, nothing to surf, so I need to use my VR boxing product to get a workout in. I always take the opportunity to include the beach. Lived here my whole life, and today was an amazing sunset. Next week, more corporate work.